Hey everybody, this is Flavio Romeo, and on this episode of the Towncast, we had the opportunity of talking to two-time Tony-nominated singer, songwriter, entertainer, and just a great human being and friend, Willie Wilson. Willie shares his journey of growing up, living out of his car his senior year in high school, and having his teachers rally behind him and inspire him. And now he inspires thousands of children and young people with his theater arts group, TAG. And it's an amazing story and amazing things that he does. All right, enjoy the episode, everybody. All right, everybody, so here we are. We're at Carlos Bagels in Hawthorne, New Jersey, right on Lafayette and Warburton Avenue in Hawthorne, New Jersey. And if you've never been here, you need to try it. And I got to tell you this, I want to pronounce it right. It's buñuelo. It's called buñuelo. Ooh, I have no idea what it means, but it's really
muy bueno.
Muy bueno, right. And I'm here with Hawthorne's own Willie Wilson. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Robert.
And I got to tell you, we first had Willie on the podcast early on when we were just doing audio. And if you're listening to this on audio, you can watch it on our YouTube channel because we're going to put some good clips in. But we first had him on the podcast, and he shared just an amazing story of his life up until almost a few years ago before he started the theater arts group. But before we do any of that, there was an unbelievable news coverage on your organization. And we're gonna play that for you now. We're right here in the New York tri-state area, so we're gonna play that for you now.
What does getting up on stage and singing with a cast of your peers give to young boys and girls? According to two-time Tony nominee Willie Wilson, who runs a children's theater program in New Jersey, it gives them confidence to take on all the challenges that the future holds. Pix 11's McGee Hickey with more.
Good morning to you. The motto of this children's theater group is leading with love and kindness. And when you see Willie Wilson's theater arts group, you understand that motto totally. Take a look. More than 30 performers up on the Felician Theater stage in Finding Nemo. They are ages 7 to 15, and they're also finding their voice and their self-confidence.
The shyest kid comes in and is in the ensemble. 1 year later, they may be my star, and they're out there, and they're making eye contact with it, which they wouldn't do in the past.
Willie Wilson founded his children's musical theater program, affectionately called TAG, 26 years ago. And he was just nominated for his second Tony, an honorable mention for excellence in theater education. Willie himself says theater saved his life and gave him purpose after a difficult childhood.
The teachers in my school, they had me over for dinner because I was orphaned young. They were incredible to me. It gave me a home. So I'm trying to make this a home for everybody else.
I like the recipe, Marlin Jr.
It gives her this really safe, wonderful space that Willie has created it's like his slogan is love and kindness, to explore herself. And this was her first real lead role as Marlin.
This parent has seen her daughter, Sasha, grow in confidence to play one of the leads despite her anxiety. Other performers are blossoming as well.
I guess I should explain something different in my brain.
I was like, I'm probably not going to like this. Like, this is probably going to be so boring and I'm probably never going to want to do this again. But I ended up loving it. That just completely flipped my world upside down.
This is closing night of Finding Nemo, but 3,000 children have already gone through these productions over the last 26 years, and 3 more musicals are in the works. From Lodi, New Jersey, McGee Hickey, Pix 11 News.
All right, so first of all, it's unbelievable what you've achieved, knowing where you came from. So let's talk a little bit about that first. When you were early in school.
Yeah, I think it all actually makes sense now that time has passed and I can look back. So yeah, I was my dad left when I was very, very young. I think I was 9 years old. I left. He left us, and in a bad way. My mother got sick when I was very, very young, and even in high school. So when my mother passed when I was young, but in high school, the teachers gathered around me, and I was going to quit school, and they're like, "You're not quitting school." I was in all the plays, and I was pretty popular.
So you were doing theater and singing, and
I was in the select choir.
Where'd you go to school?
Pascack Valley High School.
Shout out to Pascack Valley High School and the teachers there.
Yeah, they were great. They said you're not quitting school, and they said go do what you got to do. So I had to get a job, so I got a job as a dishwasher, training to be a cook, and they were great. I had to go to school 1 day a week, Fridays. They gave me work to do at home. Fridays I turned in my work, and my job at the time had me work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. They took the Friday off so I could go to school. So I had a full-time job, and it was tough. I mean, I lived in my car for 6 months.
You had a full-time job.
Yeah.
You're going to high school.
Yeah.
You're basically homeschooling.
Sort of,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, 4 days a week you're homeschooling.
Yeah.
And on Fridays
Yeah.
you're going to school, and you're living out of your car.
Yes.
For 6 months.
Yes, I lived in my car for 6 months. So
How old were you?
I was 17. So, you have to understand, how does a fish know it's wet? I thought it was kind of cool because, it was late at night, and all my friends are like, we got to go home, we got a curfew. I'm like, yeah, I got no curfew. So literally, you don't know what you're in until you've done it, you pass, and you look back, you go, okay, I did pretty well.
I think Timothy Chalamet should play you in the movie.
That would be a great. I think yes, he's
right?
good, he's good looking.
Exactly.
I'm thinking yes. So anyway, once again, I think it all makes sense because those teachers that gave back to me, and then me starting my theater group, kind of just on a request from a principal who knew of my theater background and knew I was a musician and a vocal coach. And he asked me in 2000, or it might have been 1999, he asked me to do a program at an elementary school. So I did it. I wrote the show, wrote the music. And I taught myself that also.
Really?
I did, yes, I did. I taught myself. I mean, I was the choreographer, which is a real joke if you want to see some moves.
If you've ever seen him dance, he's not kidding. He's not exaggerating.
No, I tell people now, and they have to pause and laugh for a while. But yeah, I did the whole thing myself for several years. I started building, and I got recognition. I got other schools, and of course in 2000 I started TAG, which is one summer program a year for about 4 years.
And that started in 2000, so 25, this is the 25th anniversary?
Well, no, this is 26, because you have to say 0 was 1.
Where 0 was 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So it's
very confusing.
It's 26th anniversary,
Yeah.
You started TAG, which is Willie Wilson's theater arts group.
Yes.
And did you have any thoughts of that prior to that, or it was
No.
kind of,
Yes.
it was asked of you, and it hit all the chords for you?
Yeah, I'm like, I could definitely do that. And again, I wrote the first show. I wrote the first 2 years for that school. I wrote the shows, so maybe 3 years, and it was fun. And I just got recognition from other schools. Can you do this here? Can you do this there? And the schools built up. I did my own summer program, I told you, and now I'm doing three-week programs in the summer. My whole summer, 9 straight weeks, 3 full productions. I'm doing after-school programs for me, for TAG, I'm doing 5. So it's 8 full musical productions a year, plus I do 2 or 3 schools.
And let me tell you, if you've never seen any of Willie Wilson's shows, these kids, I don't know how you pull it out of these kids, but the productions to me, it's Broadway quality.
Yeah.
Not only the voices, but, the sets are beautiful, choreography is great. You hit a perfect age group. So the age group for your TAG kids
Is 8 to 15. Some, if it's a little bit more of adult quality, they don't shift it a lot, but I'll do 8 to 16. We just did Finding Nemo, which was 7 to 15. And it was actually collectively my youngest group. And it was unbelievable. So, that clip you saw before on Channel 11, you'll see how little they are. And they were, McGee Hickey was like, I can't believe that they're that little doing what they're doing. So the choreography did get a lot better once I retired from choreography. But I realized surrounding yourself with the great talent. And I think, though, the key thing for tag and our tagline is leading with love and kindness and giving young people a brave and safe space. I think that totally goes back to how I was brought up, or wasn't brought up. I saw what I had, and I give them that brave place. So I think it fills a little hole in me.
Yeah.
So
you see it. It's so rewarding. I mean,
it's so rewarding. That the letters and the texts and the emails and the conversations I have with parents, they're so grateful. It's unbelievable. Like I don't get through one of those letters without crying. But it means the world to me. It's really awesome.
Yeah, and you're hitting such an impressionable age group. Because it's the age of reason is 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
And they don't know who they are. Now they're entering high school, and there's fear, and there's nervousness, and there's self-consciousness. And so how do you see, when you have those kids, how do you see transformation in them?
So as you saw in that clip, the main thing is confidence and friendships. A lot of theater people, and I'll start with me, are little freaky. They're just a little different. Hey, you're willing to get up and do crazy things in front of 200 or 300 people. You have to be a little different.
So you're speaking from experience.
Oh, it's 100%, 100%. So when they get in here and they're like-minded, and even the new ones come in with fear, there's still a like-mindedness with the whole group. And again, leading with love and kindness brings them these lifelong friendships. And getting back to your question, the confidence is the most thing. So when they'll go into high school, where people would go, I'm not sure if I'm going to try out for this because they go in,
Oh boy, so you see that.
Oh,
if you get them early, once they get into high school, whenever there's a class play, they're in.
So me, my wife, and my daughter, who's my COO, we have to split up because all the high school productions for musicals are all together. They're all in the spring. Can't go to all of them. St. Joe's, IHA, Holy Angels. You watch their productions, 5, 6, or 7 of the leads are all from TAG. It's unbelievable. So we have to go to all of them. And I wish I could go to all of them, but I'll go to this, you go to that.
Yeah.
So we do show up and support them. Very proud. And I've had directors come out and say, oh, you're Willie Wilson. Thanks for sending your kids in ready to go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a director's dream.
Oh, yeah, they walk in, they're like, oh, you know that, you can do this?
Done.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's good for everybody.
Now, have you seen any of your kids that have graduated the program, 15, 16 years old, go on to college or go on to perform other places?
A whole lot. I have a couple people in Carnegie Mellon, which is...
Really?
Oh, yeah, who started with me at 7 years old.
Oh, now, so Carnegie Mellon it's a free university.
Right.
But you have to be gifted. I mean, you have to be talented.
The creme de la grace. You have to be.
Yeah. That says a lot for your program.
Oh, it does. I have 2 people in that, and they both started with me at 7 or 8. Wow. And didn't know what they were going to do, and decided
your
this.
heart was just swell.
It's unbelievable. But so when people age out at 15, they usually come and intern with me for a year. Then they come on my staff. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they'll be going to college for theater or teaching with a minor in theater, hoping that they're going to be the English teacher who does the school shows because they love it so much.
Yeah.
But many go on to performance. I have a relationship with some talent agencies, and I've had people do Netflix things, commercial work. So I believe we really get them ready for the real life of entertainment.
And whether your kids are going to go on to perform, for a living, that level of confidence will be with them no matter what they do.
100%.
Whether they're going to be a teacher, a salesperson, no matter what they do, having that level of confidence and that ensemble feeling that no matter where you're working, I'm working with these people, they're my ensemble.
Yes. Also, just think of the interview where people might be a little hesitant because there's a lot of stress there. They've already performed 20 shows in front of 300 people. They'll look the interviewer right in the eye and they'll speak clearly. And you put them against the other person, they're going to win just on their confidence and how they present themselves.
Now, I know. I've heard it in the past where you open up admissions.
Yeah.
We're going to open up admissions on this day, and within, a day, hours, couple,
Yeah.
you're sold out. I mean, how do, if people want to get more information?
Yes. Okay. So you go to wilsontag.com and look up enrollment, but be prepared to set your alarm. So we do it on January 1st at noon. We do it on July 4th at noon, and we're probably going to add one more yet to be determined. But I remember 3 years ago we opened it at noon on.
I remember that.
Yeah, and by actually, you know what? We actually opened it at 8, and by 8:14 it was sold out.
Yeah. And how many kids do you bring in?
So for the summer program, it's 125.
Yeah.
Sold out in 14 minutes. The website actually crashed, and we changed it to 12 because there was a family called the Kramers. We call it the Kramer Law. They overslept. It's New Year's Day. They overslept by 15 minutes. Went to sign on, and they couldn't get on. Their
Kramer Law.
Their
No
daughter and
relation
their
to
son.
Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld.
No, well, I don't know. I'll look into it.
It could be.
But they didn't speak to their parents for like 2 weeks. Yes.
You blew it, Mom.
So we call it the Kramer Law, and it's now at noon. But people will sit at their computer 11:30 with their coffee, refresh,
July
refresh,
4th.
refresh, and then they're on and they get in.
So July 4th is the next one?
July 4th is the next one at noon, and literally get there quarter of and refresh. I'm giving out a lot of information here.
So it's going to crash even earlier.
Oh yeah.
Well, the other thing I want to touch on is, which touches my heart, is obviously it's a business.
Yeah.
But the amount of time that you give to special needs kids and that organization, I want you to talk a little bit about that, because I know that's something that you love. It's a give back, and you love doing that work.
I do, and this was 7 years ago. A really dear friend of mine, Anavia Bagger, and I've known her forever. She was on Broadway. Her daughter was in her sister was in Expose, a theater and entertainment family. I just absolutely love her, and she called and said, "I want you to run this program." It's called Marble Jam, and it's special needs kids. I go, "Well, I didn't go to college for that." She goes, "I've seen how you handle your kids." She goes, "I think you'll be perfect." I'm like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." So I did it 1 year. I fell in love with the kids, but it was a lot. I had to learn a lot. There's so many levels on autism and Down.
Because you don't know where they are on the spectrum.
No, and there's so much to learn, and I did really well. And I told my wife, "This is a one and done. I'm so glad I got to do it, but it's a one and done. It was a lot for me." Well, the results after the show, and the parents who got back to me and said, "My daughter barely spoke. She spoke on stage. She sang. She memorized her lines on stage." I got all that feedback. I'm a lifer now.
Yeah.
So year after year, it's gotten better and better. I now do some other programs with special needs. I do personal coaching with special needs for singing or piano or guitar, mostly singing. But I think I am a lifer now. That population had nothing. Now, not because of me, it started happening, but with Marble Jam especially, it's rolling and rolling. There's more and more programs, and that population has a home too. So that's near and dear to my heart. Yeah, that's awesome.
Can people look up that program if they want their kids to get involved?
It's marblejamkids.com, I think.
Okay, I'll make sure we'll put it up underneath.
Okay, that would be great. Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful program, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
It's awesome, and it's reasons like that you're now looking at a 2-time Tony nominated 2 times. that is, dude. Listen, I am proud to call him my best friend. I'm proud to call him a colleague. I'm proud that he's a part of my life and a part of so many kids' lives, and how you touch each one of these kids, and no matter what direction they go, you're teaching them skills of how to be with other people.
True.
So it's like you're showing them love and kindness. They have that. They're going to bring that to whatever it is that they do.
I agree. You start the ball rolling somewhere, and hopefully at 7 years old, and it rolls in that direction, which is really awesome. A quick story yesterday. One of the mothers came to my house to pick up a...
Good, it gives me a chance to eat another bite of the
Ooh,
burrito.
you love that. She came to my house to pick up a costume. I have a costume shop for her son, who's been in my program, and he's doing something else. And so she came, and her daughter is also doing another program, and it's a little above mine. Her daughter's 14, and she's working with adults. And her mother said, I sat her down and said, listen, this is going to be different. You know, Willie leads with love and kindness. It's not always going to be like that. But I do tell my kids that. But she said, her daughter's like, I get it. You know, it's not going to be Willie, but it's going to be, you know, a great experience for me. But I do tell them that. I said, listen, I lead with love and kindness. It's going to be a little harsher in the real world, but don't let that break your love and kindness spirit.
Right,
you know?
right.
You move ahead with who you are and what you give back to the world. And they'll see that, you know, and they'll end up treating you that way. But, you know, Broadway's hard. You know, it's not 6-hour days like I have in the summer. You know, you're 12, 14-hour days.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
8 shows a week.
Yeah.
6 days a week.
Movie work is, you've done movie work.
Yeah.
You started a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, brutal hours. Sometimes you're sitting around for 6 hours before, you know, it's hard work. But if that's where your heart is, it fills up quick.
And, you know, he mentioned the movie. Mr. Willie Wilson makes a cameo appearance in First Rights.
Yep, yeah, thanks to you. You did a beautiful job on that. Like, your characterization, I always knew you were talented. When I saw that, though, I go, oh, he's got that. He's got it.
That was fun.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Well, listen, it's now, so is it Wilson's?
It's wilsontag.com.
So Wilson, WILSONTAG.com. Check out the information. And again, July 4th, get to your computers, because, I mean, they sell out 14 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes they're on 2 different computers, the mother and the father.
And they're on their...
Are you on? Are you on?
The kids are on their phones.
And then I get called, listen, I think we're in. So we have to go, yes, you're in. Like, there's a panic. But we're trying to expand. We're adding more because I don't want to leave anybody out. If this is for you or your kid, I don't want them to be shut out. So I'm trying to expand as much as I can without killing myself.
And listen, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Facebook, because he's also a singer, musician. He performs all over the New York tri-state area, and used to be in the ESPN band.
Yes, and I was the voice of ESPN for years.
Yeah, and so, you were also in a band called the Metros.
The Metros, which was with Monarch Records, so we actually had a record deal. And the Willies was a very, very popular Jersey Shore band.
Yeah,
for
you guys
years
used
and
to play. I
years.
remember when ESPN used to have like a summer bash.
Oh yeah. Well, they still do. Not as big as it was back then, but yeah. And
because they got rid of you guys.
That's exactly what happened.
That's what happened.
But you know, I played with Bertie Williams, and Don LaGreca sang with me. I gave Don voice lessons because they were mocking him so much. But he got good. Don's got a beautiful radio voice, and I knew that you have a good radio voice. If you have a beautiful voice, it's just how you use it. And he improved a lot, and he sang with us a lot. But all great stuff, man. I've been very, very blessed. I think God sets you up on a road and gives you speed bumps and boulders and streams to hop over and swim through to set you up for what you're probably meant to do.
Yeah, it's how you manage it.
Yeah.
And how you work through it.
Yeah.
And it's also, to me, it's what you're giving back, and that you give so much to everybody. I know that you're always he's always telling me I'm cutting back. No. This year I'm cutting back a lot because I can't do it anymore. And then you take on more.
It's unbelievable. I have a real problem.
He's 32 years old. Look at him. Look at him.
I've been through the ringer.
Willie, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me,
I really
Flavio.
appreciate it. Listen, go to wilsontag.com. If your child, your niece, your nephew, someone that your grandchild is interested in the arts and wants to get involved, and even, because we've done, we do Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah.
And we've had the same experience where you have kids that are relatively shy, but once they meet everybody else, you're all in the same swimming pool. You're all having fun.
Yeah.
It opens them up, and it really is rewarding. So if you do have a child or grandchild that's remotely interested, I strongly suggest July 4th, get on the computer and get ready. Get ready to sign up. You will not be disappointed. And if you do get a chance, make sure you follow Wilson Tag also on Facebook and Instagram. If you get a chance, go to one of the shows. Bring your child to one of the shows. Let them see what they do, because it really is something special.
I believe it's a level up. And of course, spread the word on the Towncast too. Flavio, seriously, I mean, we're friends, but if I didn't know you, I'd be like, this guy just does amazing things in the community, which you do. It's yeah. So he spreads the word. It's usually the good word. I don't think you go towards the negative news. Which
There's
most people do.
negativity everywhere else.
You're the other end.
Let's just make this a positive space.
Yeah,
for us,
which
right?
is so heartwarming. Yeah.
I love you, brother.
Thanks. Love you too, Flavio. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
listen. Make sure you go wilsontag.com. Follow Willie on all your social platforms, and check him out. I mean, he's a great musician, and he's just a lot of fun. So I think you'll enjoy it. All right, be well, everybody.